Why the Golden Age of Islam Flourished and Why It Declined. A Q&A with Iqbal Latif. What made the Golden Age of Islam such a fertile period for science, philosophy, and innovation? The Golden Age flourished because of the rationalist tradition within Islam, spearheaded by the Mutazilites. They emphasized reason, free will, and human agency, which led to an environment where knowledge was celebrated and actively pursued. Scholars like Al-Farabi, Avicenna, Ibn Sina, and Al-Kindi built upon Greek, Persian, and Indian traditions, merging them with Islamic thought. Institutions like the House of Wisdom in Baghdad acted as global knowledge hubs, encouraging translation, innovation, and debate. How did the works of these scholars influence the world beyond the Islamic realm? The contributions of Islamic scholars had a profound impact on global intellectual history. Avicenna's Canon of Medicine became a cornerstone of medical education in Europe for centuries. Al-Farabi's philosophical ideas influenced Christian theologians like Thomas Aquinas. The transmission of Greek thought through Islamic scholars bridged the ancient and modern worlds, seeding the European Renaissance. The Islamic world wasn't just preserving knowledge, it was expanding and innovating it. What caused the decline of this golden age? The decline began when orthodoxy overshadowed rationalism. Figures like Al-Ghazali emphasized revelation over reason, predestination over free will. He labeled fields like mathematics and medicine as secondary to religious sciences. This shift from inquiry to dogma marked the end of an intellectually open Islamic world. Philosophers like Avicenna and Al-Farabi, once celebrated, were criticized or ignored. The intellectual curiosity that drove the Golden Age gave way to rigid orthodoxy. Could the decline have been avoided? Yes, if the rationalist tradition had remained central to Islamic thought. Scholars like Ibn Rushd, Averroes, tried to revive this tradition, arguing for the compatibility of reason and faith, but their efforts were sidelined. If figures like Avicenna and Khayyam had been embraced as central to the Islamic intellectual tradition, rather than seen as heretical, the Golden Age could have continued to evolve. Pluralism and open dialogue could have sustained innovation. What role did orthodoxy play in halting the progress of science and philosophy in the Islamic world? Orthodoxy, led by figures like Al-Ghazali, reframed intellectual pursuits. Knowledge that didn't directly align with religious doctrine was sidelined. Instead of being seen as complementary to faith, disciplines like astronomy, medicine, and mathematics were treated as secondary. This shift not only stifled intellectual growth, but also created a divide between Islamic thought and global scientific advancements. Over time, the Islamic world fell behind. Why are figures like Avicenna and Al-Farabi not celebrated in mainstream Islamic thought today? Sadly, these rationalists are often remembered selectively. While they are claimed as symbols of Islamic success, their ideas are rarely integrated into the curriculum of Islamic education. Their philosophies, which celebrated free thought and inquiry, are seen as controversial in traditional settings. This selective reverence diminishes the potential to revive their pluralistic and innovative legacy. What lessons can the Islamic world learn from its golden age today? The key lesson is that innovation thrives in an open, pluralistic environment. The Islamic world should embrace its rationalist heritage, figures like Avicenna, Al-Farabi, and Khayyam, and integrate their works into education. Accepting and debating diverse ideas fosters intellectual and cultural growth. The focus should shift from orthodoxy to inquiry, from preserving the past to building the future. Is there hope for a new golden age? Absolutely. The Islamic world has a rich intellectual tradition to draw upon. By reviving its rationalist roots and fostering a culture of inquiry and innovation, a new era of progress is possible. The globalized world offers tools and platforms that can bridge the gaps of the past, but this requires courage to question, to debate, and to embrace pluralism. Our heroes were our heretics. If Avicenna, Al-Farabi, and Khayyam were celebrated instead of sidelined, the sun of the golden age of Islam would have never set. Iqbal Latif. What's the global significance of reviving this intellectual tradition? The world benefits when diverse cultures contribute to human progress. The Golden Age of Islam was a time when knowledge was shared across civilizations. Reviving that spirit not only enriches the Islamic world, but also strengthens global innovation and understanding. The thinkers of the Golden Age didn't see borders in knowledge, they saw a shared human endeavor. That's a legacy worth rekindling.